everybody. Welcome. Thanksgiving is over.
Yes, welcome to the Bulls Tabletop Hour. I'm Adam Harry.
I'm Larry Vella.
And yeah,
everyone, thanks for joining us again. Tabletop Hour again. I think we've done like almost 30 of these.
It's been a couple hours. We've done a couple of them.
Yeah. We're good. We're getting there. So much stuff to talk about for all of you who were busy just eating turkey and falling asleep for the last 4 days.
On Saturday.
Or shopping.
Friday.
Or shopping today.
Oof.
Cyber Monday.
It is Cyber Monday. There's some deals going on.
Yeah, there are.
We're not getting sponsored by them, so we're not going to mention it. But there are deals going on.
You can go figure it out yourself.
Just Google deals.
You're smart.
Yeah.
So what we are here to talk about. Wow, that got really mean.
Yeah, it did. There's a ton of stuff going on.
There is
this weekend,
a lot of stuff going on. Huge amount of stuff. Big, huge reveals. Day after Thanksgiving. There was a seminar. There was a little one, basically a 24-hour
Vigilus Open Day at Games Workshop.
And they just opened it all. It was the same setup that they did for LVO, for Adepticon, for all those things. So we got a new one.
Yeah.
Day after Thanksgiving, freaked everybody out. Big, huge changes coming to not just Warhammer 40,000, but just in general.
Yeah.
All kinds of stuff. But we're here to go through them with all you guys, talk about it.
Oh, man.
So we got Adam in the house, me in the house. Mars is running everything off camera. Hey, Mars.
Hello.
And actually, JR might come in and pop in for a bit,
JR may come and photobomb this show.
We'll see. We'll see if I can get him.
And Harry Bull's cat, he's in the studio, too.
He is in the studio.
So...
Yes.
See what's going on. Oh,
there he is.
There he is. He's the real star. Everyone say hi.
Hi to Harry.
He's like, talk about war games more. It makes me sleepy.
Yep.
Alrighty. So, what is going on is so much stuff. Definitely get all your questions.
Yes.
Get everything in the chat. You have comments. You have things you want to talk to us. Tell them.
Let us know.
Put them in the chat. Let us know. Mars will pass them on to us. All right. Starting off. First things first. We have a new Noise Marine. This is very... it's a new Noise Marine. It's big. It's large. It is pretty much almost a just digital 1-for-1 improvement and reproduction of the original old school Noise Marine.
The old Jess Goodwin 1989.
Yeah, you wrote that one up.
1990s
it's really
era.
Yeah.
It's a classic Noise Marine with a zebra paint job and the crazy hair and the leopard skin and the crazy guitar
and the electric guitar bolter.
Yeah,
and they painted him up exactly the same way,
perfectly.
Except it is an all new model. It's bigger. He's standing. He
poses a little bit more.
He's playing on top of the on top of a Primaris helmet.
What's cool about it too is you can actually see him playing. He's making a chord.
He's actually working it.
Yeah, so they actually sculpted his fingers correctly.
The detail is so much better.
Yeah, and it is a direct homage to the old school retro Slaanesh Noise Marine. So it's very cool.
I also think this is pretty much. I mean, why would they do this out of the blue? I think this is an homage piece. That the last time they did something like this was when they redid Sister Dominica in a very limited resin only thing, and then a few months later they were like, "Hey, we're redoing Sisters of Battle." Why would you out of the blue redo the quintessential classic Noise Marine?
Actually, I know exactly why they did this.
Why do you think?
They actually did this because Duncan and Peachy were dressed up as rockers for Halloween, and then the video they shot to go along with the Noise Marine reveal was just their Halloween gig.
Okay,
so that's the real reason that I just made up on the spot.
I think Emperor's Children are coming.
Yeah, that's what
probably. That's my theory. Is Emperor's Children are coming?
Duncan and Peachy, they were rocking out, man. The video is classic caramel.
I absolutely think that if Duncan and Peachy decide to dress up, that would influence the allocation of resources and manpower.
Yeah, totally. Workshop. That's what I think.
Seems reasonable. I run a company like that.
I enjoyed the crap out of the video, so the reveal was hilarious. It was fun. It was good. But yeah, it's a new mini. Emperor's Children got to be on the way.
Exactly.
I mean, we got Slaanesh coming.
It all ties
into
the Slaanesh stuff. But so that miniature's coming. You can see it. Go on Bell Lost Souls. Go on Warhammer Community. It's around.
Yep.
Awesome green high heels. Loving it.
Yeah. It's got these hoof. He's like
hooves.
hoof platform
Hoof heels. Hoof heels.
Yeah. Can you get those?
They could be, if you were a really good non-metallic metal painter, you could paint those things to look like pimp shoes with goldfish in them.
I feel like that would be awesome first, and secondly, I feel like that should be like a cosplay goal.
I think so.
Costumes. Cosplayers out there, make that happen. Send us pictures.
Noise Marine. We want to see them.
Yes.
Moving on past that Noise Marine, we have a new campaign book, Vigilus Defiant, and Marnius Calgar is reborn. All right, so this is a big one, and there's a lot of stuff to unpack in this. Yeah. First of all, let's start with Marnius. So everyone saw the big teaser banner
I sure hope so.
Last week with Gene Steelers. Everyone was like, "What does it mean?" Yeah. And we were like, "It's definitely something about Ultramarines. It probably means something about Marnius. Probably whatever's going on." And then boom, Marnius Calgar.
Oh man,
he has been redone. He went in for the surgery. He got the nip and tuck. Now he's a Primaris Marine.
Can we just? All right, so there's a lot going on here. Can we break down?
He has an all new miniature. You talk about it.
Let's break this down a little bit further. Let's start with Marnius because I feel like that's probably the biggest thing, and we'll talk about Vigilus Defiant.
Sure.
All the other reveals.
I think Vigilus Defiant is a big deal too.
It is. They're all big deals, but I want to start. Okay. There's just so much.
Sure.
Yeah.
What does Marnius mean to you, Adam?
Marnius he's one of the iconic Space Marine heroes. He's been around since from Road Trader.
Yes,
there's pictures of him sitting next to the Gene Stealer.
Sitting next to the Gene Stealers. I mean, with this little picture of the dead Emperor behind him.
Right.
On the wall.
It's a classic one.
It's classic.
He's been the butt of jokes. He's been the hero of campaigns. He's been a lot of things to a lot of different players.
This is now his 4th miniature.
5th, I think. Because he had the little guy, the guy on the throne. Mm-hmm. You had the newer little guy, the Terminator version.
Oh, sure.
And then now you've got the Primaris Calgar. So
that's true, because there was that one edition where they actually made both.
Yeah. And to be fair, he still has less models than lieutenants. But
this is true.
Anyway.
It has been noted.
Yeah.
It has been noted that if you look up the actual definition of the word lieutenant, a lieutenant, the original meaning of the word was a person in an officer who has been put in charge by the commanding authority of a government. He is the person who is in charge of the Ultramarines now that Bobby G is back, which means technically he is a Marine. He is a Primaris lieutenant.
Man, I don't even want to get into that.
Model number 10.
Model 10. He's
Model
a lieutenant.
number 10.
No, but yeah, it's a cool thing from a hobbyist perspective to see Calgar. Again, he's been such an iconic character for such a long time. He's still rocking the gauntlets of Ultramar. If you look at the model closely, take a look at those gauntlets and compare that look to the rest of the armor, because you'll see the gauntlets are all banged up and dented and scratched. They have battle damage.
Right.
And then you look at the rest of his armor, and
it's perfect.
Perfectly pristine.
Which is cool. It's nice that they did that.
It's a nice touch. The gauntlets of Ultramar originally from
they are Bobby G's. Yep. They are
Guillemon's.
Yeah, they are his.
Those were passed down to Ultramarine chapter masters when he went to the Great Sleep there.
Yep. And they've been used for 10,000 years.
They can't even open them up. They don't even know how they work.
Correct. Exactly. The Tech Marines are like, we can polish these. Yeah. That's what we can do. We can hose them off.
Yeah. We can hose the blood off.
We can put a good buff on them.
We can reload the guns.
That's all we can do.
But yeah, those weapons have been around for such a long time too. But they're still around. He's just got a new model. I think it's Gravis armor, if I'm not mistaken. It could be.
It has kind of the big fancy feet.
Yeah.
But basically, he went through the surgery.
That's what I was getting to next.
The big thing is that we have a named character who is a big important person in 40k background. They had already they'd mentioned kind of obliquely in Rise of the Primarch that it was possible to take a normal existing Marine and upgrade him to...
Was it in Rise of the Primarch? I thought it was just in the live stream for Rise of the Primarch.
It was somewhere they said it. I remember they said it. But he's the first example that we've actually seen of them doing it. So obviously he's a big important guy. Yes. He can afford the surgery. So
in the text for the preview, they literally said he is the first to be reborn. So to break that down further, the last part, reborn, Marnius Calgar is back as a Primaris. This isn't just an armor swap like I was talking about. This is a full-blown new...
He has the organs.
He has all the organs. He has been upgraded to Primaris status. The other part of that is the first. So that begs the question, well, who's second?
right,
and who's third, and so on, and
right.
ad nauseum. Like, if he's the first character to get upgraded,
it's only a matter of time until we see others. So clearly, who's going to get priority to be upgraded from a normal dude to a Primaris? Well, people who are named characters, people who are big, important personalities in the universe. They're the ones who are going to be first in line.
Let's just take a minute and just think about how many. First off, of all the Space Marine characters, how many we're looking at. Ultramarines, Blood Angels, Dark Angels, Space Wolves, Grey Knights, Black Templars, Salamanders, Imperial Fist, Crimson Fist,
Raven Guard,
Iron Hands. You can just keep going. That's just the first and secondary.
Those are the ones who we actually have rules for.
Yeah. Now, Flesh Terrors.
Gabriel said they're not going to upgrade Gabriel.
They could. Maybe. But okay, so that's just the ones I can think of off the top of my head.
Sure.
Now, how many of those chapters actually have rules, and how many of those chapters actually have characters, and how many of those characters are old metal models?
Right. Basically,
Dante, Mephiston, Vulcan, the Emperor's Champion,
Shrike,
Pedro Cantor.
And it was specifically noted that
Gabriel Seth,
that in the aftermath of the
he's got a newer model
of the Indominus Crusade, that the Crimson Fists are now fully reconstituted.
Yep,
they got
Crimson
full
Fists
reinforcement, so they are a full size chapter.
They got jacked on the Primaris.
They were like, you can have between
20
to 999 Primaris Marines to reconstitute your chapter. How many would the Crimson Fist need? They're like, we'll take 900. We'll go with the 999.
Yeah. So Crimson Fist.
We need them.
Also, Blood Angels, they got more than Decimated, because Decimated is just like a 10th.
Right.
They got like.
Oh yeah, they got
wiped.
They lost like half their chapter.
More than that
during the big Tyranid assault.
The big Tyranid.
And they were reconstituted.
The Ball. The invasion of Ball. They got wiped down to a handful.
Not many.
Yeah. And their successor chapters too.
Yeah.
So that includes the Flesh Terrors.
Oh sure.
The Knights of Blood. All those guys, they're all wiped out. So they're all getting a bunch of new fresh blood.
Right. So
Space Wolves.
Where this is.
Would you like to see a new Ragnar Blackmane model?
Yes, I would.
Yeah.
Yes, I would.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
It's too bad. It's too bad for the.
Yeah.
For for Santa.
Bjorn. For Grimnar? Yeah, he's not getting one.
Because he just got a new class.
But it'd be funny to get a new Bjorn.
It's just
Primaris and a Redemptor. Come on. Redemptor, come on.
Yeah.
Redemptor.
That's true.
Redemptor Bjorn, come on. There's a lot.
There's a lot.
There's a lot of miniatures, and if you think about the way Games Workshop is treating Space Marines, that's their flagship.
Oh, sure.
Like, that's their flagship.
They're definitely...
That's the most popular army.
We can see the writing on the wall. You can see where this is going. 2018 was the year that... 2017 was the year that Primaris Marines were introduced. In 2018, it's continuing. In 2019, I fully expect that we're just going to see... I don't think we're going to see... I think we'll see little to no classic Marine models being made anymore.
Why would they?
Right. It's just going to be all Primaris all the time.
Aside from the... I'm really excited just from a hobby point of view, because I think that
the models are great.
The models are great. So that's one. But from a business standpoint, if you are Games Workshop and you're like, hey, we need to make more models for our most popular line, but we've been cranking out Space Marines for 30 years. Nobody needs to buy more Space Marines. What do? Let's make new Space Marines.
Yep.
Okay.
Exactly.
And now you've got an in-game lore reason. Calgar did it. Why won't other chapter masters do it?
It's only a matter of time.
Yeah.
There's at least a dozen. I mean, we could count them out, but there's probably close to 10. Let's just say 10. Mm-hmm. There's 10 character models among all the Space Marines that are important people in the universe who have old metal models.
Yeah.
And as Games Workshop is going through and redoing these, I don't think you'll see any of the. They're not going to redo. They're not going to take the time to redo a Marine independent character model and not make them a Primaris if they can at this point.
Why wouldn't you?
Exactly.
It's honestly, again, from a modeling perspective, I love it because the new Primaris models are larger.
Yep.
They're more dynamic. Mm-hmm. They have crazy poses and different weapons.
Yep.
They're just bigger Marines. That gives you more of a canvas to play around with, more opportunity for conversions, especially in plastic. I'm really jazzed about the idea of characters getting the Primaris treatment. I know that might be heresy to some folks, but man, the thought of a new Mephiston Primaris model is super exciting. Dante in the golden
Oh,
Primaris armor.
he's going to be crazy.
With a crazy wing
Right.
jump pack.
He's going to basically be
come
like
on.
a Marine version of Celestine is what he's going to
Yeah,
be. He's going to be flying
sign
with
me up.
crazy doves everywhere.
Yeah. And
it's going to be crazy.
Just to divert a little bit from that too, again, the implications that regular TAC Marines and all those other guys are going to be probably retired eventually.
Sure.
What about the genetic flaws? Because that's a big deal, right?
I mean, they've
Blood
already...
Angels
Right.
and Space Wolves. Are we going to see Wolfen Primaris?
Right. Like, what is...
Come on.
Yeah, like, what happens when you... What happens if you make Blood Angels...
Yeah.
Blood Angel Primaris, and the flaw continues, and then you have Primaris Death Company. Because that'd be cool.
Death Company Primaris.
Because that'd be cool.
That would be sweet.
I'd be all over that.
I'm just saying, the reasoning, the possibilities are there. It makes a lot of sense.
Mars, do we have any comments or questions?
Also,
all right,
revealed over the weekend, alongside the
Sure.
new Calgar, were new Honor Guard minis.
Yep.
We had new Honor Guard minis. We also got a little tease at the bad guy that's going to be featured in that. I believe his name is Harkin World Claimer, Champion of the Black Legion. He's crazy looking. If you note too, he's got the power claw like Abaddon, but without it's not the Talon of Horus.
And he has like a weird little mouth respirator thing.
He does. It's like this weird Vader looking thing. But he's also carrying a big spear.
Yeah. And he's got a
jump pack.
And he's a raptor.
He is a raptor.
He's a raptor captain, which is cool.
Yeah,
like
it's super cool. He also made a pretty big brag that the world of Vigilus would fall to chaos in 80 days.
So we'll see what happens.
So that brings us back around to the actual campaign book now.
Yep. So we have Vigilus Defiant.
Yeah.
This is a new campaign book, and it sounds like it's going to be out actually like right around the corner. Like I don't think they're waiting on this one. This one's going to be coming out. We don't know exactly when, but I think this is going to be
Is that
really...
a hardback?
Yes.
It is. You can see the seam at the top.
Yeah. So this looks like Imperium Nihilus.
Yeah, Nihilus Vigilus Defiant.
Vigilus Defiant. So this is basically a campaign book. We don't know too much about it.
Well, obviously they're going to have rules for Calgar and Harkin. What was his name? World Claimer.
Yeah, he's going to be in there, and basically, I mean, we've seen all of the box sets leading up to this, and now we have a book. So we don't know what kind of book this is going to be, but it's definitely hardcover. It looks like it's approximately codex sized, so it's definitely going to have. It's a Games Workshop book. So basically, I'm excited because to me, this looks like this is the book we've been waiting for 18 months, which is 8th edition came out and it's just been nonstop codexes.
Which has been great.
Which is great, but we're getting done with them, and everyone has been saying what's going to happen next. And it looks like what's happening next is we're now seeing a return to the campaign narrative books like we saw towards the end of 7th edition, where we had Moncta and Kalyan, and we had Angel's Blade.
And Corn's Fury or whatever. Traitor's Fury.
Traitors, yes. I forgot.
Traitor's Tears, whatever.
Something Blade.
It was Angel's Blade and Traitor's Tears or something.
So, but here we go. So this is the first narrative campaign book. So I expect the same thing. If you go back and remember the ones in 7th edition, the first half of the book was all the story, and the last half of the book was formations and data sheets and new characters and stuff. So I'm going to assume that this is going to be exactly the same. And we already know that on Vigilus is the Ultramarines are there. Their successor chapters are there. The Space Wolves are there. There's a Gene Stealer cult there. There's a very
orcs are there.
Orcs are there.
There's
Chaos Space Marines and
Eldar
and Chaos Cultists are there, and
Gene Stealer cult.
and Samhain.
Eldar
Craftworld is there.
Eldar Mechanics. The other thing too.
I'm waiting for it to be like it's also a Tomb World and Necron show.
Necron show up. Here's the other kicker too. If there are Gene Stealer cultists active on this planet, you know what that means.
That means they're going to summon demons.
No.
Oh, that's true.
Not demons. They're Gene Stealer cultists.
That's true. Yes. Sorry.
Well, there are Chaos cultists
Sorry,
too.
I was thinking about the yes.
But Gene Stealer cultists.
Only a matter of time.
Tyranid show up. Vigilus. I mean, it's bonkers. This is becoming the new Armageddon.
Yes. Very much.
Everybody's going to be there.
Except even more people fighting for it.
Yeah.
And there's even weird ties between Vigilus and the Blackstone Fortress.
Yeah, that's true.
For all you guys out there playing Blackstone Fortress, because they were so they just
which came out over the weekend too.
There's some weird stuff going on.
But yeah, if you look at all of the lead up to this, we had Speed Freaks, we had Kill Team, we had Tooth and Claw.
Mm-hmm.
All of that stuff was pointing at Vigilus being the new big campaign, the new place to be,
and absolutely it is.
Yeah.
All right. Our next topic is
Gene Stealer cultists.
Gene Stealer cultists. So the missing Codex. Where on Earth is Codex Genestealer Cult? It would be the last Codex. It's been missing for a long time. Nobody knows where it is or what's going on with it.
And they actually did say over the weekend at the Vigilus Open Day that yes, Genestealer Cultists, don't worry, you are next. They have officially announced that Genestealer Cult is next.
Okay,
so,
good.
I don't know if that's going to be next before or after chapter approved. It's we have all December,
but they've got to be coming really soon.
Yeah, and they showed off a ton of awesome stuff too.
So we already know, if you guys remember, that for Codex Genestealer Cult, we have seen there's the new Primus model with the kind of the Wild West pistol.
The gunslinger. We've dubbed him the gunslinger.
Yeah, the gunslinger. He has like 3 revolvers, so he's super badass. So he's coming. We have the Abominant, who's the new HQ, just super Hulk smash
for the Aberrants.
For the Aberrants, we know that the Aberrants are certainly going to be getting their own box set also.
Because they never got their box set, so where's that been?
So they're going to be getting that, but the big question was, is Codex Genestealer Cult just going to be basically a rules-only rewarm?
Kind of like a Grey Knight?
Like the Grey Knight book was, or was it was it going to be a codex where they actually put a good amount of work into it and actually redefine the army? And it's B. So
it is. They've introduced new guys on dirt bikes, which are pretty sweet. There's a guy with like a sniper rifle and a guy with like a shotgun. They have a BMX guy.
There's an ATV.
Not ATV. Thank you.
Yeah,
ATV guy riding around.
He has like showed off, and that ATV is it's pretty much the Genestealer equivalent of an attack bike.
Yeah,
because it's a dude on a thing, and he's probably part of that squad. And his attack.
Well, he's got like a bigger laser.
Yeah, it has like a mining laser attached to it. Whereas the little guys on bikes have sniper rifles and stuff.
It's going to be interesting to see how those guys work in conjunction with the rest of the army. If I had to make some logical guesses, they're probably fast attack of some type.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of makes sense with the hidden ability to like pop up on your enemy and attack them that the Genestealer cults are known for. So maybe they can be in ambush position or outflank or something.
Yeah, they're probably
outflank or something. Yeah, like that.
I would assume that these are basically these are going to be the equivalent of like scouts and or rough riders.
Yeah,
kind of
which is super cool.
They're going to be quick, fast moving, super easy to kill, and
that was the other thing too. They also showed off. Remember the rumor engine from the past week where it was the GWHQ?
Yes.
They showed that model off.
Right.
Was actually a Genestealer Primaris guy or somebody like commander overlooking the battlefield.
Right. So now people are like, "What's that model going to be?
What is that model?"
Because that's clearly that implies clearly something HQ related. You know, it's a guy looking at. I mean, I'm actually surprised that they haven't done models like that for say Guard yet.
Yeah.
Because it's like he has a little weird holo display, and it's he's grinning and looking at it.
3D, and he's looking. Yeah, it's super rad.
Definitely, it feels like right there off the bat, we have at least 3 to 4 new units. For Genestealer Cult, which is great because that's a brand new army. It already actually had a good amount of units in it.
It had a decent amount. I still felt like they were missing some stuff in the Codex was fine. It's a complete army, but it reminded me of how Carj and Overlords from Age of Sigmar came out and it's a full army, but it feels like it was missing something. There was like a couple extra flavor units that would be nice. We're getting them now.
I want cult limos.
I want
cult limos.
I want cult vehicles
for the
to be
next
able to
Codex.
deep strike.
It's for the next Codex. I'm okay. I want cult limos.
I just like the idea that these guys are a scrappy underground guerrilla force that is repurposing planetary vehicles and weapons to fight. And I know they're the bad guys, but they are definitely like an underdog faction, and I do like them. We'll see what they do with them. They can ally with Tyranids, so I'm already partial to them. But at the same time,
they can ally with Guard in a limited way. So it's going to be it should hopefully be a cool army.
Yeah, I think it'll be Genestealer Cult 2.0, well 3.0 if you count the original, but 2.0 coming out hopefully later this year, maybe early 2019, don't know yet, but they are the next Codex. So I'm pretty pumped about them. I'm curious to see what the players do with them. I'm very curious to see how they've reworked the vehicles and their cult ambush roles, most of all. So.
And we have Wrath and Rapture.
Oh man,
and here it is, the one that
Realm
we've been
of Chaos.
And this is Wrath and Rapture is a really interesting one because this is another one that has kind of it's been sitting in limbo for a while. It was actually first unveiled
a while ago.
It was unveiled at Nova.
Oh wow, you're right.
Back in August.
Yeah.
And it's still not out yet, which is highly unusual for them. But now we now know what it is and what's going to be in it, and we know all the contents now, which we didn't before. So we know that clearly it's Slanesh versus Khorne.
Yeah.
It's a big update to both of those rangers, and it's really good. One really interesting thing about it is that the box cover for it specifically says Wrath and Rapture, Demonic Legions clash in Warhammer 40,000 and Age of Sigmar. This is overtly designed to be a cross the streams product. You buy this thing, and no matter what game you play,
I was counting
it's for both of you, which is very cool.
It's 6 armies in one box.
Yeah, it's a
because
lot.
It's 40k or Age of Sigmar. You've got a Slanesh army, you've got a Khorne army, you've got a mixed demon army, and it mirrors for the other game system too. So,
and then we have
that's like the best value they've ever put together.
Everyone was obviously really freaking out about the Slanesh part of it. So it has Daemonettes, as you know, they're in there.
Yeah.
But really, you're getting it because it has some of the new Fiend bottles, and we knew that all these box sets always have a new general equivalent, whoever the leader is, and it is the Slanesh Harpist, which we don't know exactly rules-wise what it is, but it's got to be a herald, it is the Infernal Enchantress.
Well, that's interesting because it should be the Herald because Sloppity Bile Piper and those guys.
Exactly.
They have instruments.
Yeah, it's the Slanesh equivalent of the Sloppity Bile Piper. So,
cool.
he's she's playing a harp, and the harp that she's playing is a weird, tortured person, and she's pulled all of the tendrils, all of the tendons out of his back, and she's playing them as strings.
Seems appropriate.
It seems, He doesn't seem like he's necessarily
alive.
No, he doesn't seem like he has a problem with it. He's just kind of there. Like,
I think he's dead. He's probably dead.
We'll see. So that was on the Slanesh side of it. On the Khorne side of it, people were also like, well, is that just going to be a bunch of rehashed old models? No. We have all new plastic... what are they called?
Khorne dogs?
Yes.
Yeah.
Fleshhounds.
Fleshhounds.
I was like, what are they called? What are they called?
Corn dogs. Everyone calls them corn dogs.
Fleshhounds, and their leader is Karanak.
Karanak is back.
There's a new plastic Karanak, and that's great. Karanak he's a great little, he's
three-headed dog.
Yeah, he's a minor character. He's cool. His model was ancient, so they've redone all of them.
Yeah,
and that's a super good box set.
Yeah,
like something useful for everyone, no matter what. I think this box set is going to fly off the shelves.
Again, it's technically 6 armies because you could run the combined demon, and it's for both systems. It's fantastic. Now that everybody's on round bases, you can use it for either system. If you want to play 40k and Age of Sigmar and you don't know what to do, congratulations, you now have a box set. Maybe pick up a greater demon or two. Throw some Nurgle in there, throw some Zinch in there, run combined chaos. It's such a good deal overall. And I don't even know what the price is yet, but it's literally 6 armies.
I think all of this stuff is going to be like, again, I think this is just
probably
almost certainly
120-ish.
All of them before have clocked in between 130 to 150. So it's going to be in there somewhere. It's going to be super popular, and
it's such a good deal. Again, it doesn't matter if you play Chaos. That's like I could always use some extra things. So plus they're all going to have new rules and stuff in there as well. So that'll be your first chance to get a crack at them. On top of that, I wonder if, since we're getting Wrath and Rapture, if we're going to get 2 little mini dexes again with them for the 2 sides, and how that's going to work with the current Chaos books, plural. So there's just a lot. There's a lot of stuff going on with the Wrath and Rapture. Other big reveal
is the Titan. So we have the Warbringer
Nemesis. Warbringer Nemesis Titan.
Yes.
This guy's got a big gun. We found out today as well.
This is a 40k model.
This is a 40k
model. This is not a...
I got it really excited because I was like, Adeptus Titanicus, yes, but no, it's 40k. It actually sits in between the Reaver and the Warlord,
right?
But in 40k scale.
Yes.
So it's probably the size of a Toddler, if we're honest. And it's it's got a really big gun. It's got the quick cannon.
Right. It has it's effectively a upgunned Reaver. It's a Reaver that is basically has more weapons than a normal Reaver does on its upper carapace.
Yeah, it's got the big big artillery quake cannon up top. It's got some AA guns on the side. This is supposed to be an artillery Titan, so that's kind of perfect that it has AA guns because it's going to be able to pick off anything coming at it, flyers and such like that. But I think it's really cool because not only are they releasing that new model from Forge World, they've also got 4 weapon options that are also interchangeable with the Reavers. But that quake cannon, if you play Adeptus Titanicus like we do, then you recognize that as the Mori quake cannon, which is one of the arm weapons for the Warlord. So it's all coming together, man. It's all coming together. Do we have questions?
Yeah.
Yes.
What
do we got?
About the Grey Knight discount.
Yeah. There's not much news on that we can go over. All we know for certain is that they did announce in the upcoming Chapter Approved 2018 that the Grey Knights are getting a massive points discount. Yay! I don't know. We don't have exact points yet or any news on that front, but we did see rumors that it was across the board for Marines in general. It was anywhere from like 10 to
15%, and
5 to 10%, whatever.
And I totally believe that it's going to be. For things like, everybody knows what the armies are that are not being heavily played anymore.
Yeah, and we've got the numbers to back it up. We get the BCP posts every week.
And they need a lot of help.
Grey Knights. Can we talk about Grey Knights in general for a bit? Because I know that there's a lot of salty Grey Knight players out there.
Yeah. There's
also a lot of players like me that are like, good, you deserve it because of
Grey Knights, it's only a matter of time until Primaris Grey Knights show up.
Yeah. That'll be your fix.
But damn.
Yeah, you'll have bolter rifles. Side bolter,
yeah. Just
wait.
Just put rifle at the end of all your Grey Knight weapons.
Yeah. But, the points drops for them are probably good. I think they got hurt really bad with the updated psychic rules that have rolled out. Not being able to cast the same psychic power multiple times in phase hurt them pretty bad.
Not in any way be surprised to see when Chapter Approved comes out if Grey Knights get the Thousand Suns treatment and are going to be able to cast real smite multiple times instead of mini smite.
Again, I'm not a huge fan of Grey Knights just because of 5th edition put a really bad taste in my mouth.
It's okay. You gotta let it go.
I'm letting it go.
You gotta let it go.
I respect those guys that build the armies at least just to play 40k because it's a game we all love. So, let them have some fun with it.
Do you still wake up in the middle of the night and be like, Cyphelman Dreadnought? And you're all sweating. Cyphelman Dreadnought.
No, I've made my peace with them. It's just, let them play with their toys. That's all I'm saying.
Sure.
And since we're on the topic, are there any units that you think should get a discount or things that you don't think should get a discount?
Oh, man. I think just the basic Grey Knight, what is it? I want to say interceptors, but
are we talking about Grey Knights or are we talking about the whole game?
About Grey Knights.
Oh, okay.
The basic
Grey Knights, I think, across the board.
Across the board,
they need a 20% discount across the board.
Well, again, the reason even their basic troopers needed big help because again, you're paying points for psychers who can't use their psychic powers.
Yep.
And that's just bad.
Because a lot of those facts, all the big facts that nerf psychic abilities came out after their codex came out. Mm-hmm. So they were built and priced in assuming that they could use that they were just throwing
throw smites out
15 smites a turn and
then they teleport around.
Yeah, and then they came back later and they're like, nope, now this is the way teleporting works and it's less
they're designed to have access to hammer hand and
right
and the Cybolt shots
and all the things that they took away from them, but they're still paying for it. So either I think they're going to get both. I think they're going to they need to get a points reduction, and then after they get that points reduction, they really need another FAC upgrade.
An upgrade? Yeah, they could use some. They could use some help in that regard too. But again, points drop across the board. Any units I don't think they should get a points drop in.
I
really can't think.
I can't remember.
Storm Ravens.
I can't. Sure, right. The vehicles.
We remember the brutal.
The summer of the Storm Raven.
It was all Blood Angels, Storm Ravens.
And when it was all it was all Storm Ravens versus Raven Swarms.
Yeah,
from the Drukhari.
Raven Flocks. Yeah,
Raven Flocks, Beastmaster Swarms. I remember that.
Yeah, that was early 40k. That was rough.
That was
a rough week and a half.
That was
nerf.
was dumb. It's what that was. Yeah. It was just ridiculous escalation.
Basically, I think if in general, again, they could use a points drop across the board, but I think the things that deserve the points drop more are the units and troops, the little guys, the marine models, the guys that don't. I think the vehicles are probably pretty appropriately costed because they don't have psychic powers access, and really you're paying that surplus points cost for those guys, and they can't do what they're paying.
Other
for.
armies that really need help, Necrons.
They need a points drop.
They just need a points drop. Their rules are okay. They just cost too much.
There's a solid army. They just
basically
cost too much.
Yeah, it's they nerfed reanimation protocols. There's a lot of debates. I think that it was correct to nerf reanimation protocols because it makes the army more fun. And they gave them dynasties, and they're very cool. They just cost too much.
They just cost too much.
If they were just a little, and they don't even need much. They probably need if they had like a 10% drop, it would be enough. Who else? Who else do you really not? Basically, all of the. If your codex if you were one of like the first 6 codexes, probably you need help. Adam is looking. He's looking off to our.
Mechanicus.
The Mechanicus, they initially came on pretty strong, and then they just kind of faded, and you don't see them anymore.
I think the problem with Mechanicus is they're still not. I personally don't feel they're a very independent army. Mm-hmm. You don't see pure Mechanicus forces. You always see them paired up with a knight or something like that. And again, it makes sense. I'm not saying that's bad for lore or fluff wise or anything like that. It's just you just don't see a pure Mechanicus army.
Sure.
It's at big events doing
and I don't really think that. So here's my grand unified theory on 40K and competitive game meta like this, which is that whatever the middle. So take all the armies out there and take the ones that everybody plays, and then take the middle ones that are just kind of they get used as allies and they show up every now and then, and then take the lower third that you never see. Yeah. Right, those guys that are in the middle, those are probably correct. So just leave them alone. They're fine. The middle tier armies, like Space Marines and stuff like that, they're probably, fairly okay across the board. Like Mechanicus, is Mechanicus really bad, or is it just that they're not broken good?
Yeah.
But
they have some really good stuff.
But things like Grey Knights, clearly, like, Grey Knights are bad. Like, they need help. Like, they're in the bottom third. So, like, you take the bottom third and you give them a little bit of a buff. You take
Harlequins, they need some help.
Right, exactly. And you take the super high-end competitive stuff and you nerf it. And then, the goal is to pull everything down towards the middle. And then you're all good.
Yeah.
So.
And then something new comes out or something old comes back into fashion. So.
Oh, it looks like you have a question.
Another question. Comment.
Got someone who really would like to play Death Corps of Krieg.
Yeah.
Possibilities about, trying to jam them into the game.
I mean, that's Forge World, so that's problem 1. Hurdle 1, Forge World.
Hurdle 1, Forge. Now, chapter approved, 2017 did have updated costs for Forge World. Forge World is part of the game. You can play it.
Yeah, totally.
You can use those armies. It's just that.
Playing them to me has always been one, shipping prohibitive and cost prohibitive too. Yes, because resin is just there's a markup for resin.
I'm right off the top of my head. I'm not super familiar with, but I don't know. Death Corps used to have multiple armies of their own, and I don't remember when they moved to 8th edition. We have the guard book; it's right over there.
Yeah,
the Forge World guard book. They may have actually taken one of the Death Corps armies out. So I don't know whether you can actually because there's an Earthshaker.
Yeah,
basically there's like an artillery company, which is like all just blow you off the battle with that, and I think Death Corps work like that, but I don't know whether you can make a default Death Corps anymore. Yeah. Like a default, like a Death Corps infantry army.
I do know...
They may have taken that out.
I do know at the GW Warhammer World, because I've been there and seen it, there's a really cool Death Corps of Krieg diorama.
Sure.
And so, I know they have some fans at GW. Whether or not they're going to get, more love on the tabletop, I mean, that's probably a project that's like, on somebody's shelf somewhere.
And there's Forge World itself is also kind of, it definitely feels like over the last year, there have been big changes in what Forge World is.
Yeah.
Because like 2 years ago, Forge World was happening.
Yeah.
Like, towards the last year of 7th edition, Forge World is where like all the excitement and energy was. They were doing 30K.
Yep.
And they were knocking out all these crazy models, and Custodes, Custodes started there.
Yeah.
And all the AdMech crazy stuff that still isn't even in 40K yet all came out of Forge World. And then once 8th edition hit, Forge World just like really almost just vanished. And they're now
making they're back to just making models
like big showpiece models again. They're not doing like whole armies anymore.
Yeah. They and we documented really on Bell Lost Souls the decline of like the catalog from Forge World.
Oh yeah,
because they went through and they just slashed stuff. It was like, hey, this is the last weekend to buy this stuff. So,
right, and
a lot of that was the Heresy era, the upgrade kits, and all the different Marine doors.
It does feel very much like Forge World is being is returning to its roots as basically saying we support Warhammer 40,000 and Age of Sigmar, and our job is to make big, cool, funky, like oversized, centerpiece kits. They're not off in their own world building kind of their own armies and universes anymore. They've been pulled back from doing all of that stuff.
Good or bad, that's probably
good or bad.
What's going on.
That looks like what. Exactly. Whatever your opinion is, that looks like definitely. And a lot of kind of the fire that Forge World used to have also got pulled away from them and taken to specialist games.
Yeah, and specialist games is going crazy.
And all the specialist game stuff is in plastic.
Yeah. It is.
Necromunda's in plastic.
Can we talk about that for a moment?
Adeptus Titanicus is in plastic.
Yeah, the specialist game side of Games Workshop, it doesn't get a ton of attention, I feel, but it's great stuff. Like all the new Necromunda games that are out, fantastic kits. Adeptus Titanicus is super fun. I love it. The models are fantastic. We love
it. It is great.
Yeah. The Blood Bowl has been getting constant attention.
Yeah.
All of these little side games, I put in air quotes, they have some fantastic models, really solid rules, really fun to play.
And they get solid support,
they get regular. Good, solid, regular support.
Yeah.
So,
you don't go a month without some specialist game getting a SKU or a group of SKUs between all of them. So they're going like gangbusters.
Yeah.
On all
that. It's a good time to be playing. If you have a main game that you're like, this is where I have all my attention, but you need something like a palate cleanser, pick up one of those side games, give it a whirl, because you can play one of those games, play a little mini campaign for Necromunda per se, and then like put it down for like a month or two and come back, or a quarter and come back.
I don't actually know. Is Warhammer Underworld's Core Studio or is
that's Core Studio.
Okay,
that is not a. Warhammer Underworlds, if you go to their website, it does actually have its own thing.
Okay,
and that's Night Vault and Shadespire. So,
which are great.
Yeah, those are great.
Those are fantastic games.
Those are designed to be a competitive arena battle game. Yep. So that has a whole different vibe. Too.
We have another one.
God,
you guys are hopping today.
To kind of backtrack just a little bit, do you think the Slaanesh units will receive a points drop due to the new models being released?
I don't know. I don't necessarily see the Slaanesh units as being overcosted. I think that what's going to happen is the new units are going to show up and they're just going to be additions. So and then the ones that like the generic Slaanesh Herald is just like not going to be used anymore because you're going to use the new one because it's better. It's how they're going to do it. Like, I don't think we're going to see Daemonads getting cheaper.
I think those are pretty solid point. You could always go for a points reduction just to put more models in the table.
Yeah.
But I think where they're at right now, they're at a solid spot points wise.
Yeah.
But like Larry said, these new models are just going to come in and be additions to and not.
Correct. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Like, basically, if you go open up the Chaos Demons book now, what you'll notice is that Slaanesh gets very. It's almost an afterthought. It's like an appendix. There's like 2 or 3 units. They're shoved in there. The pictures are old models. Like the Daemonettes are the only things that are nice. So we're just going to.
The Fiends aren't bad either.
Exactly. As the new
not the Fiends, sorry, the Seekers.
Yes.
The Seekers.
Yeah, exactly. So,
but those are Daemonette models.
As the new ones come in, they're going to get new data slates, and those new data slates will be priced appropriately, and that will make Slaanesh as a line of models more attractive and better. That said, caveat: whenever the Keeper of Secrets comes out, that will be an entirely different data slate because they have done that in every case. Mm-hmm. In every case with the other 3 ones, there was the old little metal demon that they kind of priced almost. Its stats and price basically almost reflected the old little major demons were basically Daemon Princes.
Yeah.
And when they replaced them with their big super kits, when the Bloodthirster came out, and when the Lord of Change came out, and the Great Unclean one, all of a sudden each of those are all combo kits. So that made 3 different models.
Yep.
So I expect the same thing whenever the Keeper of Secrets comes out. It's going to make 3 different models.
Yep.
One of them will probably be a named character, and then there'll be 2 generic ones, and those will have entirely new data slates. And the old Keeper of Secrets data sheet will just be obsoleted. So that one I think will totally go away because that's the pattern.
Yeah. I think just like Larry said, we're probably going to get 2 to 3 generic Keeper of Secrets. Like it's the last demon to come out.
Yeah.
Last greater demon to come out.
Yep.
it's going to be at least 2 to 3 generic options, and then probably a named character.
Probably a named character. My fingers are crossed for Inkari, because Inkari is the only Slaanesh named demon that has appeared over the last 20 or 30 years in both universes.
Yeah.
Inkari comes back. Inkari has been around in 40k and did a lot of troublemaking in Warhammer Fantasy.
Yeah.
So Inkari is and has a very distinctive looking head.
Yeah.
So Inkari would be a really cool miniature, and then there's 2 other generic ones.
Yeah, 2 or 3 other generic ones. Because the Great and Clean one had 3.
It had 3.
3 and then the named character, right?
Yeah.
Or is it 2 in a named character?
It's 2 in the named character.
Yeah. So whatever ratio they want to do. I mean, it's got 4 arms, so it can
Yep.
change. That's at least 8 poses.
Yep.
So,
yes.
But they could, GW. What are you waiting on? Come on, bring that.
I know.
Secrets
Yeah,
out.
yeah. Get us that 4th major demon. Get it out here. It'll be great.
Mm.
And Emperor's Children.
And Emperor's Children along with that.
We're still not done.
There's still more.
We're still not done. There's still more.
We talked.
Chapter approved.
We've been talking about that all game.
There was sisters.
There were sisters.
They released sister stuff in there.
They showed off. I think it was the Holy Trinity stratagem, which is really interesting because basically the way the stratagem works, you pick a unit. That unit fires at a target. If everything in that unit is shooting that target, and that unit contains bolter, flamer, weapon, and a melta weapon.
And a melta, yeah.
All of those weapons get +1 to wound.
Right. So they're basically.
It's called the Holy Trinity.
They're giving you a reward if you're building. They don't want you to build aspect warrior type squads where it's like I have 10 sisters with bolters.
That's what they do.
They want you to build the old style tactical marines where you have I got the one guy with the flamer and I got the guy with the melta and then I got the 8 sisters with the bolters. They want you to build those mixed units.
Yeah.
And
honestly,
and then they're giving you an actual concrete battlefield reward for building your army that way. And I think that's neat. I like them to do things like that to, kind of push people into, risk reward decisions. Do you want to build an all multi unit, or you want to, build this kind of softer one? But if
honestly,
you can use these cool rules.
That stratagem makes them super deadly too, because
totally. It's +1 to wound, right?
+1 to wound.
Yeah,
so your bolters,
that
can wound a Titan on a 5-up.
That's the big one.
That's the big one. You're just
that's the big one.
Dumping shots that wound.
It's the shooting equivalent of the Blood Angels. Of the +1 to wound in close combat.
Also,
which just makes their infantry super deadly.
A flamer with a +1 wound, that's D6 hits. That's pretty scary too.
That are wounding on
5s on worst
on 2s against anyone who's toughness 3.
Oh yeah.
Right. So they're horrible against.
Because you're winning on 3 +. Oh
yeah,
you'll shred hordes with that.
Yeah,
you're a threat to vehicles because the melta also is getting.
So
a +1
if you're doing like a retributor squad, and if you're doing a retributor squad, you're absolutely doing 2 heavy flamers, 2 multi meltas, and then the sergeant has the.
I don't know if that was a legal target or not. I think it was. But
then the Dominion squads, where you just do 2 melta guns and 2
flamers,
and 2 flamers and 6 bolters.
Yeah,
and those are that's a mean squad.
That's a mean squad.
Oh, we have another one.
Since we're on the topic of list building,
hello.
We've got somebody who's building an Imperial Fist army.
All right.
He's wondering, do I buy Primaris or do I buy normal Space Marines?
Well, let me tell you, my friend, are on the hump.
Yeah,
is what we call that.
This is a touchy subject.
Okay, I'm going to be brutally honest. If you are a whack player,
win at all costs,
and you're super into the tournament scene, and that is your primary. If that's what the hobby is to you, then stick with what the best rules are. Which right now is still a lot of classic Marines. If you are not that, you probably want to invest more heavily in Primaris because that is clearly the future of the game. Yeah. That's where they're going, right? I mean, I was going to put it this way. What do you want to buy? It's 1910. Are you going to buy the best, most badass horse and buggy, or are you going to buy a crappy car? Because that's where you are right now. That's the difference between Primaris and
fast forward
and classic Marines is
next year
is what's your army going to look like 10 years 10 years from now 2 years from now 2 years from now we could easily it's the same thing. And then also, of course, as with anything having to do with Warhammer 40,000 Age of Sigmar, with our entire tabletop miniatures problem, you sir have decided, or ma'am have decided, that playing with toy soldiers is something that you think is cool, and that you want to do with your spare time, welcome. So you should buy the miniatures that you personally are inspired by and think are cool. If you like Primaris Marines and you think the models look neat, then buy Primaris Marines and paint them, and you'll have a good time, and you will never regret it. Don't buy some. This is the classic catch 20.
You're on your soapbox now.
22 of 40K. Don't buy models that you don't like just because the rules are good, because the rules are going to change.
They will absolutely change.
You will that will screw you 100% of the time within 18 months.
I've seen people buy entire armies they hated the models for, but they were competitive at the time.
Their friends told them this is a cool net list. I read it online.
2 to 6 months later, that list is complete junk.
And then they sell it all because they didn't like it in the first place, and those people leave the hobby.
Hundreds of dollars, and they either start the cycle over again, or they leave the hobby completely.
Right.
This happened. The Storm Raven list. Perfect example.
Yeah.
Perfect
absolutely.
example. That was a list. At the start of 8th edition, Storm Ravens are all the rage again. Oh, watch out! Storm Ravens are. I'm gonna buy 5 of those bad boys. Before people could buy 5 of them and get them painted up and on the tabletop, that entire army got
in general as a concept. Anytime someone says, if you want to win, you should buy 6 to 12 of X, that is a danger sign. That is a danger sign. Just, it's your money. Before you go to the store and dump it, just be like, am I really doing this for the right reasons?
And hey, if you are that type of person that wants to
win
competitive, go for it.
Then go for it. Absolutely.
More power to you.
Right. There are people who that is what they want to do. They do like to play that kind of 40K, and they seek out people who also play that. And there's nothing wrong with that. But be prepared that those people, part of being a super competitive player is that super competitive players are constantly cycling through armies, and they build an army, and then 3 months later they're like, I'm going to sell this thing on eBay and I'm going to buy the next one, and they're constantly rebuilding because that's what the game is to them. To them, it's about always chasing the top dog.
Yeah, for Larry and I think based on just the studio armies that we have, and my personal collection that isn't even in the studio, we're both collectors.
Right.
So like, I buy a unit, I build an army, I paint it, I put a lot of time and effort into that. I don't sell my armies.
That's correct.
And
not ever.
I add stuff to them over time, but I don't ever get rid of my stuff. Am I ever going to have the top competitive list?
No.
But I mean, could I get close?
Are you losing sleep over it?
No.
Me neither.
Yeah, and so like, I probably could, build a semi-competitive or even a competitive army based just on the collection. The longer you play the game, the more armies you collect, the more options you have in general. But that said, you're starting a new army.
I'd go with Primaris.
Or
I would go really heavily Primaris. I mean, remember also, there's been rumors that there's a bunch of Primaris models coming.
Yeah.
Like new ones. So
I would stick to the core stuff. So like Primaris, I always get it mixed up. The troop equivalent Primaris.
Intercessors.
Just go with some Intercessors. Hellblasters are fantastic.
Hellblasters are one of the best units in the game.
There are good. 9 different lieutenant variants floating around up there.
Choose your poison.
Pick one. Stick them next to the Primaris. There's captain models running out there. Stick those next to the Primaris guys. You can't go wrong.
Yeah.
Like Hellblasters and a lieutenant and captain combo.
Yeah.
You're rerolling ones to hit, rerolling ones to wound.
Get yourself a couple of of the tanks.
Yeah, the repulsor. I
like the repulsor. It's a good tank.
I'm on the fence about it. I think it is a good tank. Rules wise, again,
right.
Visually, not my cup of tea exactly, but I wouldn't mind having one in my
clearly
collection.
That's the tank of the future.
Yeah,
that is the if you buy anything Primaris, you're probably going to be fine moving forward. Years from now.
Yeah, and list building recommendations. I can't give that to you because I don't know what type of army you want to build or anything like that. But you can't go wrong with some Intercessors. You can't go wrong with Hellblasters.
Yeah, and that's going to come down a lot to
personal preference.
Exactly. A lot of that is going to come from what's your favorite chapter? How do you want to paint these?
He
guys?
said Imperial Fist.
Oh, Imperial Fists.
Yeah. Right, Imperial Fist,
Imperial Fist, Bolter Drill, lots of bolters. Oh yeah, Primaris are fine for that.
Yeah, totally fine.
Lots of bolters.
Yeah, bolters all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing
wrong with that.
Chapter Proof 2018 coming out. The rumors were December 15th. There's also a new urban
Cities of Death.
It's not. It's Cities of Death for 8th edition.
Okay.
It's urban Warzone. I forget. We're pulling it up now, but if you're an old school player like us, you remember Cities of Death.
Yep.
This was just a campaign supplement that was really heavy on the urban environment. Buildings had rules. There was rules for rubble.
Urban Conquest.
Urban Conquest is the name of the new supplement coming out.
Yep.
The tagline for this one was, I think it was every battle or every building is a battle and every street is a kill zone.
Sure.
So it's close quarters combat. More importantly, though, it looked like they had some cards that you could kind of lay out and build as like a city map. They showed them putting them in sleeves. So if you take one of those,
right,
3x3, 9 card sheet plastics you'd keep all your baseball cards in
right.
as a kid, take one of those, put those 3. You build a city, and then you fight over locations within that city, and that could be like a city.
And this
block
absolutely looks like it's a box set.
That is a box set.
So this isn't a book. This is going to be a box set,
and it's coming with new terrain.
Right, exactly. So this is going to be an 8th edition redo of Cities of Death, and Cities of Death has always been around for those of you who've been playing for several editions.
Yeah.
When Cities of Death comes out, it usually comes out in association with a new set of terrain, and it basically highlights and provides rules for using that terrain.
Exactly.
And then it's going to have a bunch of custom missions for playing in an urban environment. It's going to have some rules mechanism for specifically using Games Workshop terrain.
Yeah.
So it'll probably have more complicated rules for how different floors work and crossing through walls and all that kind of stuff. And then past editions of their urban warfare expansions have included not only special missions, but there will almost certainly be special stratagems. And special things you can buy for points to that all armies can use that will assist them in fighting in urban combat. Sewers and booby traps and all that
being able
kind
to
of
pop
stuff.
up from wherever on the board.
Yeah.
Again, this kind of a box set. I don't think it's going to be like really aimed at matched play folks. This definitely feels more like an open narrative or a campaign kind of play system. But I've always found that those things are very, very rewarding to play around in, and you can tell stories about those for years afterwards.
And you get a ton of terrain out of it.
Yeah.
That's what tends. So just like the Armageddon box set of last year was basically
Shadow War Armageddon box.
The Shadow War Armageddon set last year was a big box, and it had kind of a fairly thin game within it, but really it came with just a giant amount of the industrial terrain. I assume that Urban Conquest is going to be the same thing.
It looks a lot like the Imperial sector.
Correct.
Sector Imperialis.
I would not be
and
surprised.
I love that. I love that terrain. That's some of my favorite terrain ever.
Yeah, the picture only shows the box top, so we can't tell if it's one of the thin or thick boxes. But I would assume that basically this is a giant terrain bundle deal.
They showed a lot of terrain that was destroyed as well. So,
oh my gosh!
Final questions. I think we have one.
Yeah, final questions. What do we got?
We have one. So we've got a person in chat who bought a Fire Raptor gunship, and they're just
nice
advice on how and when to run it.
Fire Raptor. When to run it?
Fire Raptors are good.
Yeah. When to run it? Anytime you want. Like
it is a pricey model. So.
Did you?
Can you lug it to the game store?
Did you get the Imperial one with the heavy bolters, or are you using the Chaos one with the autocannons? Which one are you using?
Yeah.
Because it's pretty mean either way.
Yeah.
They're great. They're tough. They're flyers. They can't carry anything. But
there's a gunship. It's a gunboat.
But the firepower off the side turrets, which in 8th edition with the turrets, because you can shoot 360, is crazy.
Yeah.
It's just a huge. I prefer the autocannon one. I mean, basically, it's a gunship. It's going to be really. You will rarely lose it in a game unless people are willing to put a lot of attention onto it, because it's hard because it has all the flyer
hypersonic.
It has all the flyer.
Does it have hypersonic? I think it has hypersonic.
It
has all the flyer rules.
It's basically a flying Land Raider.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to charge it unless you have fly as well.
Right.
So it's not ever going to get locked in combat.
It's very survivable, and it has a lot of anti-personnel to medium level firepower.
Yeah, and if somebody is dedicating firepower to drop it, that means they're not shooting at the rest of your army.
Correct.
Which hopefully you have invested in those points too.
Yeah. Which means basically, what do you want to do with it? You're either going to keep it behind your lines, and you're going to use it to pick key anti-personnel parts of their army that the rest of your army can't easily get to, because it's a flyer and it can move incredibly fast. So you're going to get to those key units in their army that you can't easily get that are infantry, and you're just going to clean them up. Yeah. Or you're going to be really aggressive with it and get it out in front of your army, which is going to risk it,
And buy time, buy
but
fire
it's going to
cover,
buy the
yeah.
rest of your army 1 to 2 turns before it gets killed sacrificially.
Yeah.
And then by the time they kill it, oh my god, the rest of your army is in their face and it's too late. And now you have board control, and you can win the game that way.
How do you want to play it?
Right. How do you want to play it? Yeah. If I was playing the Chaos one with the autocannons, I'd be more concerned about keeping it alive and killing stuff. Because the autocannons are more generically useful at killing like even light armor. If I'm using the Imperial one with the heavy bolters, I'm probably going to specifically hunt out weak infantry units, and if there aren't any, then I'm just going to sacrifice it. I'm going to throw it out there and just be like, "Come and kill me," and
solid tactical.
I'm going to put it right in their face and make them have to deal with it.
Deal with it. But yeah, that's it's pretty much all the stuff we have time for today.
Yep.
There's a lot of stuff for the weekend. If you've missed anything, we have a roundup post on Bell Lost Souls. Go check that out.
Go check it out. We
There's
have
more stuff coming out all
every
week.
day. Yeah, this is a
day.
super busy time. Right around the corner, we know Chapter Approved is going to be coming out really soon.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to blow the game up, and everything's going to be crazy. It's going to be great. So we're going to have a whole lot to talk about that.
Yeah. Advent's coming soon too from Black Library. That's a whole bunch of other stuff. The battle boxes are coming soon.
So guys, really quick before we go, thank you so much for following us. We are here every Monday at this time. We're every Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern.
Yep.
Come and talk about
Central.
We talk about whatever is going on in the industry. This week it was definitely All Games Workshop. They definitely threw out all the big news. We had D&D last week with their 2 supplements, and on Wednesday we're going to have our 2 painting streams for you. We have the Veteran Sergeant, and we have Goat Boy. Thomas himself is painting. Mars, what are the times on those 2? I believe
7?
They're in our channel description.
Check the channel description below for more information.
I believe it's at 5 and 9 Eastern for those 2 guys. And then every Thursday, Dark Apocrypha, we are playing a game for you.
We're back.
Yep, we are back, Dark Apocrypha. So come.
It's at 8 Eastern.
8 East. Okay.
Yep, 8 Eastern. Come and hang out with us. We're playing Age of Sigmar this week, and Idenith Deepkin is on the table.
Wow, we got some Deepkin on the table.
That's correct. So they're going to be here.
cool.
So that's every Thursday. So mark your calendars and come and hang out with us. We have a great time streaming. And we'd love to hang out with you guys and talk tabletop games, RPGs, whatever. And we have a cat.
We do have a cat.
Did we mention that?
That was
we
a
have
good.
cat?
That was a good segment.
I can totally go back over
Ready?
to Cat.
You guys ready for it?
Cat. Harry
There
says
he is.
hello.
Harry
He
says.
hasn't moved since we started the stream
He's literally
because he's Cat.
the same.
All right,
Yeah.
everybody.
Yep.
All right, and we are.
Yep.
All right. And
So we're Bell Lost Souls again. I'm Adam Harry.
I'm Larry Vella.
That's Harry the Bull's cat.
That's Harry the Bull's cat.
Thanks for watching, y'all.
Thanks for watching.
Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.